The High Q Components Formula First boys have been doing a superb race, and Geordie Peters is back. Geordie, how are you?
Not bad, not bad. It should be a great race.
Now, what's the state with your championship? We started really well this morning, good racing, and then she's all gone spastic.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an incident in the last lap there, and Taylor Hurst, unfortunately, was penalised for it. But at the end of the day, there was no big damage, and everyone's still pretty happy with each other.
Actually, you guys started it with the 3-race crash in the last lap.
Yeah, we did. It's all our fault.
No, it's no one's fault. Right, racing again after lunch. Here we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, Conrad Clark there got a lot of wheel spin off the line. Just couldn't get it away. He's fallen back a lot of spots now, slotting into about third to last. It's unfortunate for him. He's not had a very good weekend. So.
Good racing as they sweep around the back part of the circuit. Gee, there's been some drama around different parts of the track this weekend. So the High Q Components Formula First, over 8 laps, and the settling in. Conrad Clark is back out there, I see.
Yeah, there wasn't too much damage sustained in that crash. Just had to.
So what was the result of the 3-car pile-up coming down here at the last time they did the dipper?
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a racing incident. At the end of the day, Taylor Hurst the blame was put on him, and he got a 10-second penalty and he only dropped one position. So no big damage, just a couple of wheel alignments to do, and she's all good.
So in the chase for the championship now, what's the situation? A 7-point gap between Callum Crawley and Caleb Nartar, and then another 61 points back to Liam Foster.
Yeah, so it's almost turning back into a 3-horse race again. Conrad Clark, unfortunately, is now 209 points off the lead. So with only 225 points on offer for each race, he's probably a bit out of realistic contention now.
So it's 15 Caleb Nartar who's got the lead, and he's trying to chase down that championship contender, of course, is Callum Crawley. He's further back down the grid in this particular race, back in 7th.
Yeah, he dropped a few positions on the opening lap there. I'm not sure whether or not he had a problem, but he certainly fell a few spots.
So at the moment it's Nartar. He's done a 1:24.4. They'll get a bit more warmth into the tyres, and then they'll start really hitting their straps, getting the speed they need. Taylor Hurst currently in 2nd place, and Liam Foster in 3rd, and then Billy Fraser, Reese Hendel Cox. He had some good passing manoeuvres, just couldn't quite keep it together. Number 5.
Yeah, and as you can see here, he's trying to work with Billy Fraser, just signaling, you pass me, we'll draft and we'll catch these front guys. Try put a good challenge in to get the win. Work together. It's all about teamwork here. You're all fighting for your own races, but you've got to work together, get that draft and move forward.
How many teams do we have here?
So we've got Sabre Motorsport. They're running 3 cars, number 11, number 41 and number 31. Then we also got Formula Challenge Racing. They're running Sean Logan and Taylor Hurst, and I think Taylor's out in front at the moment, so they're doing a great job.
What about Blake Evans?
Yeah, Blake Evans also out of that same fold. So he's had a few issues this weekend, but they're slowly working there, getting those sorted, and they'll be at the front of the field again in no time. If not at Pukekohe, hopefully not next season. Hopefully next season.
Sliding onto the track, round turn 1, coming down towards 2, and it's championship contenders. Caleb Nartar, the man from Martin, young man from Martin, was it Rangi-Tiki High?
Rangi-Tiki College, yep, that's the one.
And doing a superb job at the moment. He's been obviously in the lead of the championship. He's lost that to Callum Crawley, who's the tall teenager out of Auckland. So now Liam Foster, he's come back into the reckoning, currently 3rd in the championship, so watch out for him. That's 48 on your screen at the moment if you're live streaming. 15 is Caleb Nartar, the college boy from Rangi-Tiki, from Martin. So he's 2nd in the championship, and the guy that's at the back is Callum Crawley. He's not from Auckland, he's from Fielding.
He's fielding local. He's a Palmerston North Boys High School student.
Palmerston North, that's right.
He's last year. They're both 2 year 13 students from the Manawatu area, battling it out for this championship.
So Callum hasn't quite had the same speed at the moment, has he?
No, it was absolutely undefeatable pretty much last round out at Manfield, but for some reason it's not quite transitioned over to Hampton Downs this weekend.
Certainly had a good weekend down at Manfield. So Foster, he's grabbed the spot now in front of Taylor Hurst, and Caleb Nartar has been swamped by the drafting as we we normally see in this particular class, so there will be lead changes right throughout.
Yeah, definitely. And Reece Hendel-Cox and Caleb Nato now, they're going to have to try work together here. They're fierce rivals, and Reece almost off the track there. They'll be working together to try and get to the front. Caleb knows he needs to start winning races so he can head into Pukekohe with a nice points advantage, especially when Callum Crawley's a bit down the order in 6th now. He really wants to capitalise on this.
Hendel-Cox having a look down the inside of the dipper, lines it up. Nata falling back down the field now, in fact. So you've got Liam Foster 48, Taylor Hurst 60, Hendel-Cox has moved up into 3rd, Caleb Natar is back in 4th, Conrad Clark sweeping around the outside of 55, which is Amy Smith. So young teenager from Taupo and Amy Smith from Auckland, correct?
Yeah, Amy's this is probably the first season she's had where she hasn't missed a round because of engine dramas, and she's doing really well. She's had her first podium. She's in the top 10 of the championship. She's probably going to move up to 7th after this race, so she's doing really well this season. And she's driving a Sanyong Ute 2 this weekend. She's been going pretty well in that, I hear.
So it's Liam Foster still out in front, holding on from Taylor Hurst. Has a look down the inside, going into turn 2. Caleb Natar trying to make the move up and follow open over round 3. So there'll be lead changes. It's all about positioning as you get in towards that last lap, and now Liam Foster trying to get a spot back. And then all of a sudden Caleb Natar is back in the mix, and here comes Callum Crawley, the other young man from Fielding.
Yeah, Callum is rubbing his hands together here. They're all battling, so he's been able to catch up now. And while they're all battling, his lack of pace, he'll be able to make up for it. He might be able to make a few moves here and maybe even take a win.
Started around about the 124 lap times. Now they're down around about the 121s. The quickest so far has been a 120.6. So flat out, and then way down the back you've got the other younger kids, younger drivers, having their own little wee private race down here. 21 Sean Logan, 31 Nathan Ono. Blake Evans is in that group as well, is he?
Yep, he's hanging on the back there.
Here they go, the Angry Beast out into turn 1 again. So Liam Foster doing a good job holding off the slipstreaming and the drafting, and there's the classic example. Caleb Natar was leading, slipped back to 4th, and now he's drafted his way back up into contention, into 2nd spot, looking all around, seeing who's ducking and diving as they dive into turn 2, do the up and over. Here comes Callum Crawley. Hasn't been able a chance to sort of get up into 4th or 3rd, but he's certainly got the draft. Hendel-Cox having a look down the inside of Taylor Hurst. Running wide as they head up towards the dipper.
They were very close there. It almost like they may have had a small wheel well a couple of corners ago, but Caleb Nato had a lot of smoke pouring out the back of his car there. So hopefully it's not too many dramas there for him. Might just be a small little oil drip somewhere.
Fastest on the track so far, Reece Hendel-Cox. Callum Crawley's done a 120.6. Caleb Natar 120.9, the same as Liam Foster. So Callum Crawley, the young teenager out of Fielding, currently leads the championship by 7 points, has done the fastest lap, but he's just still struggling back in the top 5.
Yeah, it's quite funny how the championship works. It's not always the fastest guy, the fastest lap who seems to be the one in contention for the win. It's all about trying to get that slipstream in that draft, and a lot of the time you see some of the guys who have maybe down a couple of horsepower, if they're smart enough, they can make their way to that front and win races. The class is very close, in terms of power, but if you are making something, you've got a bit of brain power over the other guys, you can certainly make your mark.
Motor racing drivers and brain power. Why do people laugh?
Oh, Alex Hawley, that's a big moment there. He's not very happy with that.
Who was he giving the bird to?
I'm not sure there. Well, not sure who sent him off, if someone sent him off or what's happened there, but he's certainly not a happy chappy.
Now look, the what's comes spitting out the back of Caleb Natar.
Yeah, bit of white smoke there, so hopefully it's nothing too serious and he'll be able to finish this race.
Well, that's going to be the key as they sweep round to the Dale ITM sweeper. So it's Natar, Foster, Hurst, Hendel-Cox, Crawley. This will be, 7 laps? just slipstreaming and drafting. So this is the last lap now. 3 wide into turn 1. Foster's back up there again. He's grabbed that spot. Crawley from nowhere. 4 wide into turn 1. And they're still on the track.
That is as close.
Oh, good score.
Oh,
Oh, no, they've
they're
just
all gone.
touched. But they've kept going. One of them has. Number 60, Taylor Hurst, has been caught up in that last lap drama. This is like deja vu, Groundhog Day.
It was a big moment there.
They're still going, and look what happened. Callum Crawley from nowhere has grabbed the lead from Caleb Natar. So you're 2 championship contenders.
Oh, Crawley's got a flat tyre there.
Yep, that's from the incident. So Caleb Natar's cleared off. Reece Cox is in there. Liam Foster's come back. And Callum Crawley's going to be lucky to finish this race. And that's going to be a change in the championship for sure. Absolutely for sure.
Well, definitely, yeah.
Talk about drama. And Caleb Natar says, thanks very much. 4 wide going out of 1. Down the straight into 2. Looked like they were going to get away with it and do some superb driving, and then bang, contact. More Mad March. March Madness. Can't even say it. Caleb Natar, he'll get the win. The man from Martin. What a day of racing we've had here at Hampton Downs. Turn it up.
Yeah, that's a big shame for Crawley there. He's going to lose the championship lead.
That's a holy snap and ring span a moment. Another one. Gee, the old mechanics are going to be busy today, I tell you. What did we say? Brains and motor racing drivers.
Yeah, so at the moment, I think that leaves Caleb with us, depending on where Callum finishes here, it's going to be quite a big advantage, definitely over 40 points.
So that's a big swing in the championship, which will now go down to the final round coming up at Pukekohe over Easter. So look at that drama. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Natar, Crawley, Foster, and Taylor Hurst just moved over, rubbed wheels with Liam Foster, and poor old Taylor. No, it was the other guy on the outside. Taylor Hurst was on the inside. He got the impact. He was the innocent bystander.
Oh, look here.
We'll just pick up the other angle. So Reece Cox, he touches with Foster, spins over onto Taylor Hurst, who's on the inside, and suddenly ends up on the outside on the other side of the track.
Yeah, one of those unfortunate incidents there. Reece was just on that exit curve, wanted to get back on the track, and unfortunately there were 2 cars on his inside, not just the one.
So would that be deemed as a racing?
Oh, I'd hate to say.
Well, we'll leave that to the protest room.